walking around other dogs, the main thing is to keep yourself nice and loose. Super casual, as confident as you can manage, and just acting like there is no dog there. You want to arc around the other dog. Don't have him right up next to a dog. It's not safe or fair for any dog, really. But as long as you've got 10-15 feet from the other dog, that's always manageable on walking trails, hikes, certainly when you're out walking in public. So just arc around. That's for him, it's for the other dog, it's to communicate to the owner that no, my dog's not going to come over and greet your dog and have a play date on leash. We're going to walk around, make sure he's in a heel command, passing the other dog, and everything stays the same. The most important thing is keeping your leash super loose. You want it long enough that if you need, you can give a leash correction, but definitely not loose, not where you could tense up and choke up on the leash. Any leash pressure is going to make things much worse. It's going to instigate some overexcitement and or aggression. So keep the leash loose, keep him in a heel command. All the rules stay the same. Even if there's a dog right there, if he gets ahead of you, turn around. If he stays back, annoy him with the leash until he comes back up to you. You can talk to him, you can tell him, you're doing so great. Or if you're nervous about it, it can even help to say, oh Sonny, I'm nervous, but you're gonna do awesome. We're gonna walk right past this dog like nothing's happening because I'm super confident about it. Whatever you need to, him hearing your voice gives him something to focus on too, and something to keep him grounded a bit, but walk right by as if there is no dog. If you pass all the way by the dog is now behind you, and he did great, stop and have a 20 to 30 second party. A big party where you're just stopping what you're doing, getting down and telling him that he's so amazing and he's so good. Oh my goodness, so good, yeah, so good. Yeah, good boy, Sonny. Big party. Stop. He should be really excited about it. Good boy. And don't be too picky about what your party looks like. I know he's jumpy and he can be whiny when he gets excited, but just make sure, we're focused on the priority right now. Don't encourage it, but we don't want to end the party or make it a bad party by getting after him about those things right now. We can always work on that later. You can always tell him later, hey, you're actually not allowed to jump anymore, but right now, if there was a successful pass, throw him a giant party. However, if he does not pass successfully, that means at some point he locked onto a dog. I'm sure you're very familiar with the feeling. If he locks on or visually fixates and he's now not just looking at the dog but fixated, and you can tell that doesn't ever go good places. It leads to a lunge, a bark, a whine, things like that. The second that happens, the absolute second, as quickly as you notice that, give him a big pop on the leash. This is now a leash correction. This is not something you do anywhere else. It's only in this situation, a big leash correction. With this, as much of a leash correction as you can manage, especially because we are not large people and he's a large dog. Don't be worried about hurting him. You cannot hurt him with this collar. You cannot overdo it with this collar. This is a puppy collar. It's a puppy prong that is not only built to be very safe, but he's also been taught how to understand it. So it's not like we just put a collar on and we're cranking him around. He understands that this means something. It's communication. It's a result of his decisions. He's in control of stopping it and having parties instead of leash corrections in the future. So there's a lot that's behind that. I know it can feel weird to yank on a dog's leash, but it is the most helpful thing for him here because he's excited with other dogs. And we don't want to make it more complicated to change how he feels about other dogs. It's good that he likes them and he has friends. You want him to keep having friends. But we need to tell him that behavior isn't acceptable. You can't get yourself amped up to that level of excitement around other dogs. You need to be healing right now. You need to be paying attention to me right now. We're not going to go play with that dog. So as you're walking, just like with the other things, don't stop walking, especially because if you do, now you're just standing here next to a dog and it's going to be 10 times harder for him to keep his exposure. Continue walking. The second he fixates, pop. You can use wrong in this instance as well, and keep on walking as if nothing happened. So we want that leash correction to snap him out of it. And then you keep walking. If you keep walking and just ignore what just happened, that gives him a moment to think about what happened and really digest. Oh, okay, I went too far that time. I fixated on the dog. That did not have a good result for me. Now we're healing away from the dog. Just leave him alone, especially if he's pouty or trying to get attention from you. Just leave him to think about what happened. And that's it. We will try to get some videos passing other dogs.